Right, folk, welcome back to another video beer review. Today we've got a beer that I've wanted to actually get on the channel for a bit of time, because I had this beer last time when I think it was the last time, in fact, when I was judging at the international beer competition, London beer competition, in 2023. I didn't do it this year because I think I was on holiday weirdly, and it was going to be a bit of a pain for me to get back from where I was to get down to the day for judging, even though I was asked to do it. It might be 2022, in fact, the year was, because I think 23 I wasn't asked, 24 I was asked, but yeah, 21 and 22 was the years I did it. But this was the beer that really stood out on my selection I was given in 2022. So yeah, it's Pillars, the Icebock. Lovely, beautiful bottle, and this is the sort of beer that you wouldn't really know of unless you had been introduced to it or tried it in the past, because it just doesn't make its way out of London at all, and there's no major promo on this beer, and it really should have some more major promo on it, because when I've had it in the past, it's been just fantastic. An Icebock, initially, an Icebock to come out of the UK is nuts. To have that sort of style of beer come out of the UK, mental. And most people wouldn't know about it because it's, well, one, an Icebock, and you know, Icebock's being brewed in the UK, nuts. The fact this year there's 3 different variants of it, insane. The other 2 I'll review over the next couple of days or weeks or so. I'm in Birmingham next weekend because I'm going to Wigan away, so I might get to do the other 2. I don't necessarily really want to do them over the next couple of days because I'm out on the piss, round Brum and that sort of thing, so I'd rather do it fresher mind sort of thing over the next couple of weeks. So I'm going tomorrow. I'm out on the piss with Adam Mersey Beers, going around Birmingham and maybe Boldmere, in fact, which is not too far away from where I am, but we might come up here to Boldmere. Up here, we're not Boldmere, but you know, we're further north, but not too far away. And on Sunday, I'm actually at the football, so we're going to be drinking around Birmingham City Centre and Digbeth and places like that. So yeah, Birmingham playing Blackpool. But here is the beer. We have Pillars Icebock 2024 yearly release, as it says. So obviously I've had the other Pillars beers earlier on in the month, and also I think in November actually was some of the bottles got released. I wanted to try them because I knew the quality of this, so I was kind of judging those beers based on how highly I rate this, and unfortunately those beers in general haven't rated quite as highly as the Icebock. But that said, I do have the porter, I think it is the cold brewed coffee porter, left to give a go of, and also this and the 2 other Icebocks. So what's it say? 8% firstly, ABV. I must say as well, the bottle design, the whole image of the beer is just beautiful. So this one's a red wax-topped bottle. The other is a yellow, and there's another purple one. I'll speak about them as we go into actually doing those reviews. But it says the UK's first Icebock. This yearly release is a 9-month labour of love, a rich silky lager with a caramelised character, brewed at Pillars Brewery using freeze concentration for an intense full-bodied flavour. 8% ABV, Icebock 330ml bottle, it says. Pillars Brewery, Unit 2, Ravenswood Industrial Estate, Shernal Street, Walthamstow, E17 9HQ. We're going to use a oyster shucker for getting the top off, because that's what we had out yesterday. My family, we don't have Christmas necessarily on Christmas Day. We all have it on Boxing Day, because it makes it a bit easier for most of us to actually get to have it. Try and get it on the bottle opener. I've got as a standard bar bottle opener. It's not the best, but it works. My God. pour into the glass. Not going to pour too much to start off with, but we'll go with that. I'm sharing it, so despite the fact this glass only got used yesterday, there's dirt on it. So it smells really toasty. Toasty, caramel, chocolatey, quite fruity. Yeah, nutty, kind of toasty caramel notes. Fruity bit of chocolate. Smells decent. Dive in. Cheers. My mind instantly goes back to on that day when we're tasting. If you're tasting, as what we're doing there, was 74 beers I was tasting in that day. And you get palate fatigue, I'd say, halfway through the day. You're so tired from, your palate gets so tired from tasting so many different things and trying to analyse every single flavour, and critique every single beer perfectly. Palate fatigue is absolutely a thing, and it sounds like the most twattish thing to say is that palate fatigue even exists. I remember my cousin just laughing at me, just when I first said about palate fatigue, and she works for a quite high-end company as well. I'm sure she probably appreciates what palate fatigue is. But it's basically when you've been consuming a lot of different products, like if you were to drink. So this is like a level we have to do at work. If you drink multiple different like vodkas or multiple different spirits or something back to back, it's very hard to distinguish one between the next. And when we'd done the judging, we had done back to back about, by the time we got onto the impies, we'd done probably about 60 beers. And I remember saying about it afterwards. I remember saying, with the first time I did it, I remember saying you have to split it, because I think the first time I did it, we had them sent to the houses. You got 2 days to do it, and I said I don't want to do more than 30 per day, and people laughed at me because they thought, oh well, you can have 40 beers a day, it'd be great. You can't, because you can't taste it after. You can't taste the intrinsic kind of values of those different beers after you've had 30 or 40, or it becomes extremely difficult even after 10 or 15. So I feel almost bad because the other two, the Icebock, the other two Icebocks, I won't say exactly what they are, but the other two I'm going to be reviewing next week. But at least I've got this in my memory of what I've had, but it won't be quite as fresh. But I still can go back to the first time that I had this, the 2022 bottle it was. I think 2021, whenever it was. I think it was 21. I think it was. And I can still mentally go back to that time and remember, my God, that was an excellent beer, and how much better that beer was compared to the other beers we were drinking at the time. There was a lot of macro stuff I got given, Spanish macro stuff, which still stands out in memory. Mahou beers, Mahou low alcohol beers, which were like, my God, that's much better than some of the stuff I was drinking. And also some Chinese beers as well, which I was genuinely surprised with how good they were. But at the same time, I was drinking a lot of not wonderful beers. But yeah, this is a remarkable improvement on some of the beers I would have been having at the time, because I can even tell from now it's bloody good. Its initial flavour is caramel, toasty, bit of a nuttiness, mild butterscotch but quite nutty, bit of a bready, almost like a marmitey, yeasty sort of note. Comes back in with the caramel, quite salty, just classic Marmite sort of flavours basically. Lightly yeasty, a bit bready. You'd never know the ABV on it. It's pretty well masked. Obviously, I am drinking at room temperature. These have been in the fridge. I've allowed them to sit on the side on the bench for the past hour or two, and they have kind of warmed up to room temperature. Within here is still quite cold, but yeah, caramel, mild roastiness, not too intense. Yeah, toasty, bit of chocolate, quite fruity caramel sort of flavours. Fantastic. It's absolutely lovely. Absolutely lovely. Icebock pillars. If you see it about still, I'm not sure where you're going to find it other than where I bought it from was straight from their web shop. Pillars, they're Icebock 2024. Definitely pick it up, give it a go, see what you think of it, and what I've done is picked up the other two as well. I don't know if you can still do that. Pick up the coffee block, and I think the other one's a barrel aged Icebock as well. If you can pick up the three. I don't know what the other two are going to taste like, but I will let you know by next weekend at least. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. Anyway, see you next one. Cheers.